Three, two, one. Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you doing, Akhil? So how are you doing and everything? Like, how's life going?
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, like summer vacations of course are always great, but I am not enjoying
Great.
it because I am busy in my other projects and stuff.
Okay.
So,
So,
before we dive
like, what?
into our main topic, can we have a little intro about our guest, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So,
I'm Akhil Sharma, and I like to add Dennis as my new surname, but yeah, officially I'm just Akhil Sharma. And yeah, I'm a 12th grader, kind of born in Noida, and uh, you can say I'm from multiple states, because my grandparents belong to different states, from Delhi, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. So all United United States. Anyways, yeah. So my hobbies are like mainly writing and exploring new things, discovering them. Even like I like to make my own projects and work upon them. So yeah, life is
yeah, that's good. And that's what I
Okay,
like
that's
really
great.
like about him. It's but
Varsho told me your project, a dream.
yeah. A little bit. You have to be specific. I have a lot of projects. So which one did he tell you about?
so your biggest dream you have.
Okay, Akstonea. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
like if I call it a dream, it would be kind of its relegation. Like I would reduce its value because like now I don't consider it as my dream anymore. Like some people like anticipate and their ambition is to become a service officer, or some people want to go get into IIT. So they make their entire, you can say, the underlying structure of their lives. They make it with that as ambition of getting into IIT or becoming a civil servant or whatever their goal is. But in my case, like it's sometimes funny to me myself only. In my case, my underlying structure is not a career. So that when I attend sessions like career counseling or planning your future, they mostly are about like what can you become when you grow up and what can you pursue and all. So it's not relevant to me because I do not resonate with it because my underlying structure and my ambition is much more beyond. I mean, I'm not bragging about this because, of course, because I have no like I like to be humble. But yeah, it's a dream. Most people don't think about it's a dream beyond most people's thinking, like to create a country. Of course, it's like majorly it's impossible. Every AI I asked, be it ChatGPT, be it Gemini, Perplexity, it all replied with it's highly unlikely that such an island can be built in just this these many years, or it's highly unlikely that any country would grant you the territory, the sea territory to build your artificial island on. But yeah, I see it like it's highly unlikely. Like, oh, it's not impossible. In fact, there is nothing that is impossible. So
It's
yeah,
impossible until it's done.
exactly. Like when there were no planes, everybody thought that humans were meant to only walk on the land and sail through the sea. But then when Wright brothers challenged the widespread thinking, first everyone laughed at them, but then they actually did it. Today we have Airbus and Boeing flights flying all over the world.
That's really awesome. Okay. But I have a really a great question. जिससे मुझे like I actually want to ask this. At what age or class you got the thought about let's create a country actually?
And
Uh,
also where from?
from right.
Yeah.
I'll give
Also,
you the
where did you got the thought?
yeah. So the thought of creating a new country. Look, first of all, it from childhood I loved l- leadership. I loved to lead people or maybe guide them. Not because it's a position of authority or something, but because it's a position where I'm in control of handling and I'm passionate about handling things and managing them. Like, I do not like to be working under somebody. I like to lead people because this is because of one of my traits or nature, you can say. I cannot tolerate the wrong things. If there are any inconsistencies or there are any disparities between any kind of things, like, that the society lacks something, like the justice is not given or it's given wrongly, or maybe the governance of a country is not proper. Or even if you think about it on a smaller scale, like small businesses, the small businesses are not run properly, and people are uncivilized in nature. They spit on railway stations. That took so much work to be successfully built and all. So I cannot tolerate the wrong things. Since my childhood, I had this tendency inside me that I rebelled. Whenever I felt that this is wrong, I rebelled. Now, if you scroll through my Instagram, I have a lot of pages like International United Students Association that fights against education system. Then Rubicon movement is another, uh, you can say, association that uh, promotes, gender equality and all. So I cannot stand against any kind of inconsistency, problems or anything. So yeah, back to your question. Uh, I think I was in grade uh, fifth when I got the concrete idea of creating a country. Since till third grade, I merely wanted to be uh, a leader or a guide. You know, you know what I mean. And however, in fourth grade, I thought that what could I actually do in my life? It might sound surprising because a fourth grader child does not think this, but yeah, I don't know how it popped in my mind. But yeah, I thought to myself that what could I do in my life that aligns with my you know beliefs of leading people, fixing the issues and solving the problems of the people which aren't usually solved. So I thought, what could be the greatest thing? First, my parents told me that there are prime ministers, presidents of the country. I constantly gained knowledge about like who has the power to do what and all. But then till the time I reached my fifth grade, after fourth grade, I was sure that even a prime minister has limits because there are many rule books, constitution, and all that limits their powers, and there's a lot of things. They have to hold cooperative discussions, and they cannot do anything on their own, which slows down the entire process. So I thought, let's stop thinking on the small scale. We have to go beyond the limit. So I thought, what if I become United Nations General Secretary? That's another stupid assumption I made because then later on I also discovered that even the UN Secretary, General Secretary has very less powers, even less than a Prime Minister of country. Because first at my first glance I thought that the UN head must be having all the powers of the entire world, like he's the world president. But no, I realized that later. So in the middle of my fifth grade, uh, I understood that I have to do something of my own. And then this kind of a trend started in my school, which of course I started, that I declared to my friends. I had a lot of friends when I was a child. unlike today because I don't have it any much today. Anyways, I told them like out of the blue that, hey guys, I'm making a country. So they were like, uh, are you serious? What did you just say? A country? I was like, yeah, why not? And first they laughed at me, but then when they saw how serious I was, I came up with the government structure. Like there will be a president, there will be a government, a court, and all. I came up with the entire proper structure, and I came up with propositions of where could I make it. Like first, I thought let's make it over a portion of an island in Canada. Like Canada has a lot of islands. So if you have heard of the Baffin Island, I say. Uh, so I decided to take some portion of that Baffin Island and create Akstonea over there. So at first they laughed at me, but then when they saw how serious I was, it started to captivate them as well. And you won't believe, at the middle of the fifth grade, there were around 3 to 5 countries in my class, including mine. Like they were so surprised and interested in this idea that the ambitious people other than me started forming their own countries. One formed Chamberland, another formed Cinderland, and I was like, okay, fine. I was tolerant of that. I was happy that I got alliances and all. And then this thing continued, and in the end, there were also conflicts when we tried to they tried to tear Akstonia's map and all, and in return, I started crying. And our class teacher came running to us like, "What the hell are you doing?" Sorry. Uh, so then we were like, "Ma'am, he tore our country's map. That is so like what we can say degrading, or maybe that's so you know what I mean." So the teacher was
Yeah,
like, "Am
childish.
I responsible?" Yeah. The teacher was like, "Am I responsible for your stupid games and all?" But then, since then, I never lost hope. By the time they were in sixth grade, they realized they didn't realize actually. I of course because this isn't the truth, but they thought that it was a stupid idea. By sixth and like through the sixth and by seventh grade, they dropped the idea, and the only person remaining with this idea of creating my own country was me. So Akstonea was the survivor of this, you can say, the chaos. But it's just that they got busy in their own lives. They started having other hobbies. But I continued to thrive and survive with my own. So fifth grade is the answer. Like I took it. Sorry, I took it and explained it in such a long way. But yeah, it was in fifth grade in 2018, I think, when the Akstonea concept first began.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting, and hearing the origin, it gets more interesting. So, this is what you mentioned is the exact topic we are going to talk about today. It's about like when we are children, when we are in smaller grades, when we are not we don't know lot of stuff. We are always so much curious. We also want to do all sorts of things. Rather, everyone thinks it's crazy. Rather, like, even people don't even think about that, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
if we are going to talk about that, so Adi, if you have any other questions, you can ask him, and then we can let's discuss about this curiosity and
All right. Our got a whole about his dream, and I want to ask, beside the people who have laughed at your project, did you met someone who really got excited and took it seriously, and who is still with you and your dreams right now?
I think the best answer of this would be my best friend, Saurabh Sharma. That's his name. He lives in Dubai, and even more seriously than him, there are two people who take Akstonea more seriously than even him. And those two people are, of course, my parents. Like, of course, I would, I'm very grateful that, parents usually uh, discourage kids from, like, even if the child says rational things like, I want to be a cricketer, or I want to be a singer. Parents usually discourage ki, like, jaake pad lo, go and study. But then my idea was the irrational one and like irrational according to the wide view of the society. But my parents still supported me, and till date, they are, even I'm almost 18 years old, you won't believe. I myself like laugh at myself that I'm an almost an adult, and I still believe in this. But I don't know why I actually have a very strong belief. And even my parents, they never discouraged me of this, and they have a huge role. And like even in motivating me in daily life, it's not like they supported just formally, but even deep rootedly also they supported, like even in daily life. If they want to give me some motivation, they use the name of Akstonea. That if you couldn't do this, then how could you manage a country? So go and do this thing. Like, So my parents and one of my friends, they are the only two people who still believe.
So, like you said, the most difficult part was to claim the territory for a country. So, whether it's land or artificial island. So, this point ever discouraged you
So at this point,
about claiming your territory for the country, whether it's
discourage.
land or artificial island or land for a country, obviously.
Yeah, so you're asking that if this discourage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, of course, it was a hard decision, of course, choosing a territory and all, because the world isn't giving out freebies. Like, it's not like,
Yeah.
hello, there is free land here, you can occupy it. While there are a few places, like in Africa, I think, Bir Tawil and Salayev's Triangle, and then there's the massive Antarctica. Claiming these territories, of course, isn't easy because there are disputes over these and all. So, uh, first I had the that idea of Canadian island, but then I dropped it after I realized that that would be much more difficult, and of course, Canada is a strong country and it wouldn't just give away its land. Then I thought that then I came up with the idea of the man-made island, artificial island. I was like, let's take from a country and then we'll build an island over it. So at first, of course, I admit at first I was a bit irrational because I didn't think of the depth of the sea because I never paid attention to it. And of course, depth of the sea matters because the greater the depth, the greater the money and time it would take to make that island. So first, I planned in the middle of the ocean. Like I was like, at the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, I'm building Akston. Then I changed. No, 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 no. We'll build the in the middle of Indian Ocean. Then, as later I realized that no, you cannot go with great depth. Then I came to one of the conclusions, which was the second last conclusion, of taking again smaller land portion of Indonesia. If you have heard of the Borneo Island, it's a large island of Indonesia. So a very small portion, hardly 1,000 kilometer square. I thought to take it and I measured that portion with Google Earth and all, and then I started thinking rationally. But then again, I thought no country would just give away its land. So I thought the best idea was to customize the shape of your land, the structure of your land, and make your own island. So I started to find shallow seas, and now I have successfully found a major portion of shallow sea in the northern Bay of Bengal, near Bangladesh, where I currently plan to establish Akstonea. So yeah, it discouraged me many majority. Sorry, it discouraged me a lot of times, and because I kept changing the location of Akstonea so many times, I wasn't always clear. But this time, because I'm here with statistics, I'm here with facts, the depth, the size, and everything. This time, I'm confident, and yeah, hopeful as well.
Okay, so but we got one more problem. So beside band, what about the people? Because we also need a permanent population for the country, right?
Yeah, that's a very good point you put up there. Yeah, the five things, I think, no, sorry, the four things you need to be recognized as a country is permanent population, go
I agree.
government, territory, and as well as the fourth one was the ability to enter into relations with other countries.
Yes.
So, yeah, the territory issue was partially solved. The government structure came up with either it was tentative or permanent. Now it is permanent. Uh, then ability to enter into relations would largely depend on diplomacy in future. So I for now like subsided that part, ignored that part. But yeah, permanent population at first too I was worried, but then I thought that migration keeps happening all the time, and migration is one of the this world's like greatest features that people are no longer bounded by their national limits. Like I agree that in last century there were empires, there were like certain constraints and restrictions that people cannot cross borders and all. But this is the era of globalization, and of course, if people get better opportunities, they get better jobs, they get better lives. Of course, anyone would migrate to a better place, and as they would be getting more incentives and benefits, then obviously people would consider being the citizens of the new country. So that part is like
Well,
more about my migration and all.
Okay, but why they will come to your country? I mean, it's not official yet, and it's also hard to get approved by other countries too.
Yeah, so look, we have a proper timeline of one side we are establishing our country, and the the other side we will be launching massive advertisement campaigns, especially after 2030, 36 and all. Uh, and then of course we'll do the marketing, and we'll tell people first of all it's important to get the approvals, as you said, like they are tough to get it. So getting approvals with United Nations, and then having diplomatic relations and approaching the foreign ministries of China, India, Bangladesh, as they are the key players in the region. And yes, after we will get these approvals, then we will give the assurance to people that yes, our country is now legal. We have the agreement of buying the territory, and we have, like, when we legally establish the country and the island, then we will be inviting the people. Like if you ask me that the inauguration date I have decided for Estonia, the deadline is 2053. Yeah. So in that year, I plan to inaugurate the nation, and then it would be the year of the culmination of all creation, approvals, everything.
well, why 2053 exactly?
2053 because I don't know that date also just like came into my mind naturally, and not even to 2053. I got the specific date like 22 January 2053, and since the time I got this date in my mind, like it was last year in 2023. Last year also, and as well as this year, I have been celebrating Akstonea Day every 22 January. So yes.
Okay. So Akhil, see, you have a dream, and we don't we don't like to call it a dream. It will happen. We know that. So, like, you thought about it, you dreamed about it. Now you are on the path of achieving it. So many people I have seen, even sometimes I too, and maybe are they too, and like everyone watching this who will watch this. So we are lost. Many times we feel like, okay, there's no like information about it. We should leave it. What are your thoughts? Like, what steps you should take to in order to like try doing it and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, that's a very important question. Like, in fact, it's not just about you, the people, including you or Adi. Even I myself uh, agree that even I have. There are instances that even I have uh, given up on some dreams. Like, Astonia is one of my dreams. But another major dream I had was in ninth and 10th grade to become an airline pilot. I mean, I always, since childhood, loved planes. I loved aviation, I loved planes, and I was so dedicated to become a pilot. And that is an emotional thing that still hurts me today because I was like, okay, I'm going to choose PCM in my 11th, and I'm going to become a pilot. That's it. In ninth and 10th grade, I had this mantra, you can say. But then I also realized that becoming a pilot and then building Akstonea cannot go in the same uh, with the same hands. In other words, if I become a pilot and I go into aviation, I will never be able to make Akstonea at the first place because making Akstonea requires money, and money requires establishing businesses as per my plan. And if I become a pilot, then of course I would have no scope of establishing any kinds of businesses, ventures, or anything because I would be constantly in the air and all. So in general, yes, there are many instances when people give up on dreams or maybe their aspirations or desires. Like if a person, I think many factors are responsible for it, but then if I would want to name some, they can be maybe lack of information. Like, okay, I want to do this, but how do I get there? That's one factor. And then second one could be being intimidated by the process of reaching there. Like when people realize some how difficult a goal can be, or how difficult it can be to achieve their dream. Of course, they feel intimidated and it's fearful because it's difficult. What people don't realize is that there is no thing in the world that is easy. Even sitting and doing nothing, just thinking and sitting idly, even that's not easy because at some point of time you will give up that idle position. So if the life anyway isn't easy, then why are you scared of doing the difficult things? So yeah, people are intimidated by, oh my God, I would have to do so much things to accomplish that. So you know what? Just leave it. People have this sort of behavior a lot of time. Even I have uh, many instances of this. Like the pilot dream I had, that was not of being intimidated, but rather a contradiction to my existing dream. But yeah, in general, people do feel fearful and apprehensive about the process of getting there at their goal. But then what I suggest is, like, as I said, life anyway will come to you as a difficult life. It won't come easy. Nothing will come easy in your life. But
Mhm.
yeah, so nothing will come easy in your life. But you have to think about that achieving a dream is the only, it's not the only way, I mean, but it is a considerable opportunity because, like, life is difficult, so the process, if the process is difficult too, it won't matter because you will be suffering the either way. So choose the one that is your goal instead of, you know, just surviving without a purpose.
You are right, actually. Also, we humans tend to like safety and stability is our first like priority as humans.
Yeah, the
So,
comfort zone
the
basically.
next question, Mhm. Right, come first. So the next question is like, the education system, and not only of India, the worldwide, except a few
Hmm.
countries, barring maybe the education system of the like best of the best research and development, you can see like there's a common pattern. There's a pattern of just uh, first of all, they are. It's not like everyone gets to showcase their ability. It's like uh, everyone's just based on how good they can swim. Let it be elephant, let it be tiger, let it be a fish, anyone. See, or maybe a climb a tree. So it's not the right thing to do that. And so, what changes do you think we should bring to the education system? For example, like suppressing the dreams too. We are not told to, okay, you can do this, this. We're told limited options. We are not said that, okay, dream of anything and just achieve it. Like, for example, you are doing. Like, haven't heard from anyone except you that they want to create a country. Like, I can hear from toddlers, but of other person and being serious, I've never heard such thing. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do we change that? And how do we like break apart the all these boundaries of all this confinement?
Yeah, that's a very insightful like statement. The world education system, actually, if you throughout the history, the British education was modeled the American education system. But what things are common inside them? They want to create, education system was in fact modeled when it was the time of uh, industrial revolution. They wanted to make steam engines, they wanted to make more factories, they wanted to employ more people in the factories so they have more production. And they wanted to,
Basically, people
that's
workers.
exactly. So if you have heard about this Rockefeller, just a second.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. Like, they funded all this education and all.
Exactly.
Like,
So Rockefeller Foundation was a company that was like Rockefeller, its head. Uh, I think I don't remember his name, but just the surname. So Rockefeller actually, I think, was the education minister or influential personality, and he modeled the American education system in a way that you know did not create unique individuals, but a workforce. And he himself said it. So there is no room for doubt because he himself said it that I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. And unfortunately, we have failed to change the education system over time. We are studying the same books they studied years ago. We are following the same pattern, and the overall structure of the education system remains the same. They want to create a workforce. And there is a kind of, you know, it seems weird, I can say that children come up with different abilities, different creativity styles and different mindsets. As you said, they are so curious when they are young. In fact, the Like the example can be the same of what I mentioned, that in fifth grade, after told everybody that I want to start my own country, they all got so excited that they themselves started their own countries. I mean, look at the innocence and excitement of those kids. Like before they were, integrated into the serious kind of world in fifth grade, they also, got captivated by this idea, and they did not copy me. I mean, that would be the incorrect word to say. They used my model, but they created something of their own with their own structure, their own ideas, and I mean, look at the creativity. And over the years, the same people who were my friends and created the same people who created their own countries. Today, one of them is preparing for IIT. Today, one of them is preparing for NEET. One of them is preparing for another exam. I mean, look, it's there is nothing wrong, and I deeply honor the people who work so hard in doing this. But I feel that when uh, people ask, "What is your dream in life?" My dream is to become a doctor. My dream is to become an engineer. I mean, how the heck can that be your dream? Dream is something that you wake up every day for. Dream is something that, fuels you when you are dull or when you are tired. And, dream is something that you should strive for every day. Like if your dream is to become an engineer, so the day you become the engineer, what is remaining in your life? What what motivation you have left in your life? I'm sorry I deviated from the topic, but yeah, what I mean to say is that the education system over the years shifts the mindset of children from a creative mindset to a common mindset. If a person says no, I mean the exact example you said, even I saw it on Instagram that uh, if you tell a fish to climb a tree, it will spend its entire life thinking that it was stupid. But it's not in their ability. I mean, each one has their own talents, each one has their own capabilities, and the education system, instead of uh, nurturing those, are killing those dreams, those aspirations and desires, and they are creating a mediocre uh, level of a mediocre workforce and an average class of people that will think forever in that way. So yes,
Rat race,
uh,
basically.
exactly, rat race. So yeah, the thing, and how do we fix this? Of course, the answer is that we have to change the education system. You cannot expect a 200-year-old industrial revolution oriented education system to be working in the age of ChatGPT, Instagram, and virtual reality. Of course not. I mean, what I mean to say is that today we have evolved from a society of workforce to a society of intellect. We have to use our diverse intelligences, we have to use our diverse capabilities and talents to create a better world. We have to basically develop the world. We have to give in what we can. We have to support and contribute to the society what we can contribute. Like in my case, Akstonea is my contribution. I'm giving the society, when I die, at least I will be satisfied that yes, I contributed to the world by giving it a new place. I mean, how you just imagine how exciting it seems is that because of you, the world map has been changed. The entire world map you see in books in on Google Maps, how exciting would it seem that because of you, the world map has been changed. Like there is though a small, but there is a change in the major world map. I mean, it's all about contributing yourself. So in in conclusion, schools should be helping students nurture and develop their talents and different capabilities instead of killing them. They should stop telling everybody to think in a certain way and you cannot say that this child is intelligent, this child is not. Because as per research, there are nine types of intelligences, not one. There are like auditory, mathematical, logical, and musical. A lot of kind of different intelligences. I don't recall the exact terms right now, but yes. So these reforms certainly need to be implemented.
Right, I absolutely agree with you. This whole generation is not the generation of repetitive tasks, not the generation of singing formulas and all. This is the generation of doing something. This generation of creating something entirely new. Because AI can create all the general stuff. You need to create something that is like it is out of the box. It's not generally done. It's not done at all. So that's the thing. So let's do a rapid fire if you would like, and then end it. Hmm? Okay.
Rapid fire in the sense, like, can you
Rapid fire.
elaborate?
I'll ask you questions and you can just answer in just a few words or a few lines, sort of like
Okay,
that.
sure.
Okay. So, what are your greatest ideals in life?
Idols, you mean principles? I think my greatest ideals are
Not the
like,
idols, the people like whom you idolize, if any.
so ideals you mean morals or the principles I like live
No, no.
upon, right?
Like idolizing people, influencer
Ideal,
or some sort of scientist, some sort of thinker,
my role models,
psychologist.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, role models.
Okay. Like if I look, then I don't have like as such a role model, but yeah, I look upon, I look to, I get inspired by a lot of people like Elon Musk. Maybe I used to be inspired by Donald Trump as well, but these days, of course, he is mad. I can say that, but yeah,
Yeah,
Elon
he's
Musk.
going a little.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Donald Trump, even
okay.
Even Narendra Modi in some way because his journey is inspiring. Like if tea maker can become a prime minister, that's a very big, uh, that's a very big motivation. So yeah, ma many kinds of businessmen who self-made billionaires or businessmen, like Mark Zuckerberg, for example. These are some people
Mhm.
I look up to.
Okay, great. And after that, what's your typical day like? Like how your things go, how you plan things.
School or holiday one.
Um, uh, like it's majority school. It's sometimes so you can tell both. Like if there's not a lot of difference.
Okay, sure. So school day, obviously, whenever it's a school day, I'm very frustrated in the morning. I get up, I get ready, I go to school. Then the basically. I shouldn't say it here, but you know the condition of our school. But yeah, okay. So yeah, so I go to school, I come back home, all drained. Like generally, students go to school, they learn something new. I go to school and I forget a thing. I come back home forgetting a thing or two. I'm like, okay, what was I thinking? Like I go up with ideas and for example, I go to school with 10 ideas, I come back with six. Four of them are gone. Why? Because I'm drained. Anyways, so I go to school, I come back, I think about going swimming, I think about going cycling, but I then go lethargy grabs me, and then I'm like, okay, let me just sleep for a while. I sleep and then I wake up. Oh my God, I had a web app to make. Then I make my own app. Then if I get time, I go to cycling and all. I come back home. Then my parents force me to sleep because it's school again the next day. But in holiday terms, in when it's a holiday, no school day, I wake up very late because I slept very late. Look, because look, from outward, like what people know of me, I want to create my own country and all. They might think that this guy is a very disciplined person. He is very focused on his goals. I am focused on my goals, but I'm only focused in thinking about them. Doing about them, it's kind of rare. I mean, Akstonea, it's okay because Akstonea will take a lot of time. But if it's about small tasks like completing a project, completing my own app, I, I procrastinate a lot. So yeah, yeah, on a no school day, I wake up late. I uh, I eat my breakfast and then I pick up a school pending work like a project file or maybe notebook that the teacher is yelling about. And then I complete it, and then it's already 1 or 2 p.m. Uh, then I maybe grab my laptop to write down a few Estonian laws of its constitution or something, or maybe uh, keep coding my app that I'm building. It depends upon my projects or my uh, to-do list basically. And then finally in the evening, if I get time, I go to cycling or walking, maybe swimming, which is very rare. But then again, I come home, and then on a holiday night, it's if the next day is also a holiday, it's generally a good time because I spend time watching TV with my parents and all. So we watch movie or and something. Sometimes I sleep very late, as I said. It's an average routine. Don't expect anything and exclusive.
That's great. Like, if it's my routine, it will be just sleeping or doing something. Either I sleep whole day or I do some tasks all this. Leave that. So, what are the people or philosophies you absolutely dislike?
Dislike
Absolutely, yes,
people or philosophy. People or philosophies.
both of them.
Okay. So there are a lot of people I dislike. If I start, the list will continue for 2 to 3 hours. But I, like, not to be specific, but yeah, I like people who, as per my principles, I don't like people who have limited my mindset. I quite often, if they're my friends, if they are my relatives, then I have to, compromise. But then if it's my friends, then uh, and they try to, assert their views on me, then I become provoked and then I start arguing with them. So I dislike people with fixed mindsets and, people who do not want to think beyond a certain line. They just want to live in the rat race, or they just want to believe that job, marriage, children, and then retirement, and then death. This is life. I don't like such people or such philosophy.
Okay,
Political
fine.
philosophy,
And
you say,
sorry,
I like a lot, all of them.
which one?
I said that if you are talking about for political philosophies, then I like all of them. Like all of them interest me a lot. Even communism.
So, lastly, if you could go back in time and do something differently, what would it be?
How back in time?
Like, whenever you want, you have a time machine, you can travel whenever you want to. Like, it's
And for
not
how
like
long?
someone else, like in your life, in your life.
Oh, okay. In my life, so if I go back in time, will I meet my younger self or I will be just replacing that person?
Yeah, you will be your younger self.
Okay. So I don't know. There is nothing as such I want to change in my life because, you know, in general, I question that why is this happening to me? But then later on, I find out that yes, there was a very big reason behind everything that's happening, good or bad. So. I'm generally grateful for my life. So uh, maybe if I go back into my life, I'll enjoy a bit more because throughout my whole childhood, I was too decent and too innocent, and I didn't do any naughty things. And all. Maybe I'll just do that because I was very disciplined, more than now, even when I was small. I just enjoy more that nothing else.
And I think you are going to do some like catastrophic thing if you could go back. So if you could go back in time whenever you want as a third person and you can change anything, what would it be?
Okay, so if I can go back in time, I'd at least maybe I'd attend a Congress session and deny the formation of Pakistan. It might sound weird, but yes, because I thought that like as per what I have studied, there was a cabinet mission plan which said that they will not be accepting the idea of Pakistan and it will stay merged in with India. So everything was great, but just Congress's one mistake uh, ruined it all, and because of that, Jinnah started protesting for Pakistan and all. Maybe kind of a national contribution, but yeah, I will try to go back in time, uh, guide the Congress in not doing that mistake, so India stays united.
Okay, then Adi, do you have any questions, gentlemen?
I
First of
think
all,
he's
I
left why podcast was so
what?
boring.
No, he's a good listener,
No, no,
in
no,
my opinion.
no. Okay, I was really okay. First of all, I have to say this: you really are really excellent speakers. Okay, first of all, ah, my God. Okay, so I wanna ask my guest. Ever got the thought of being born before colonize? What the hell is this? Okay, wait,
Colonization.
wait, wait a second, wait a second. मेरे पास टैग हुआ है 1 मिनट.
Sorry, what did it?
Maybe attack.
Let him think. Let him process. Okay, he's dead. So finally, last thought. If you want to tell us anything to the audience, or like give an advice or anything, or impart something, just tell, and we'll end it.
I just yes, okay, sure. I'll just say that in our lives, you know, the God has given us the blessing of being a human. So obviously, we are not one of those ants, or we are not one of those, honeybees, or maybe any kind of animal who works all day and then just eats and sleeps. So we have the ability to do great things. Okay, and dreams are the first step towards any kind of goal or ambition. So you have to dream. Like, APJ Abdul Kalam said it absolutely in the right way that, you have to dream first. So
Okay, my
I
bad.
just say, yeah,
Okay, say continue, continue.
yeah. I just say that, we shouldn't stop dreaming. And, the people who are living a normal life, you know, I agree that comfort is comfortable. Comfort is great. It feels great. I know. But just imagine a bit of discomfort can eventually give you a more better and a greater comfort. In other words, you can achieve better things by just working a bit more harder. So, and it all starts with a dream. So, my main statement, what I want to convey is that you have to keep dreaming. I know a lot of people say this that you should dream big, you should keep dreaming. But I mean it in a serious way, not a quotation or a slogan way. I mean it in a serious way that you should dream and you should think beyond what is already there. You should think what you can do, and even after you have think thought, sorry, even if even after you have thought about something, you should think further that is this the only limit, or can I go beyond this? That will help you in refining your dreams and aiming for bigger things and aiming for higher heights. So just keep dreaming. That's it. The school, the society, the entire matrix, the entire, the what you can say, the atmosphere or your environment will try to suppress you, will try to direct you into one direction, will try to, you know, mold you in a way that uh, fits you in the society. But if you are a piece of puzzle that is easily fittable inside the society, then upon joining the pieces, you will disappear. That's it. You will not stay unique, you will disappear in the puzzle.
Adi, anything to say?
Yes. Okay. So, dream for some become their overall structures and objective of their whole life. For most, each year they move step toward what they wanna become, like a musician, poet, engineer, or a pilot. But it's not that small in your case. So, what that particular thing, what's make you keep working on your dream and yeah, that was the whole question.
So you're saying that like my dream isn't that simple or you know it is complex. Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
yes, and ordinary and most of the people became discouraged of just thinking about what you actually want to achieve.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, the first statement that yes, my dream is more complex than most of the dreams. People want to become a cricketer. People become an engineer, doctor, an IS officer, and a lot of things. People want to build their own businesses, but if you see mine, I have to create my own country, which is not a single algorithm process. It's not like do step one, do step two, do step three, and then congratulations, you have made your own country. It's about juggling through many algorithms, juggling through many courses of action, doing this, doing that, like planning the island, building the island, and then uh, getting the approvals, and all these complex things are running in parallel. So yes, it is often a complex, but it doesn't bother me. Its complexity doesn't bother me because I don't know. Akstonea, as people have the emotion for India, I have the emotion for Akstonea. Just like people love their country, India, I love my country, Akstonea. Of course, that doesn't make me less Indian. I love India, I respect India. But, if I think about the word my country, Estonia is the first country that pops into my mind. India is second. And so, because it's an emotion, it doesn't bother me. Its complexity, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, ठीक है, it's very difficult, but हो जाएगा. It will happen. So I stay optimistic because it has become an emotion for me, not just a dream or a goal. It has become the reason I want to wake up every day. It has become the reason I want to continue living my life. So yes, that is the answer. And yes, people often give up too early, as you suggested. They leave their dreams too early because yes, they feel fearful. They feel apprehensive that it is very difficult, or maybe I won't be able to do this. But reaching such conclusions uh, is certainly not gonna help. You know, if you have to take some risk, or you have to, you know, work hard to get something big, to get something important. So of course, uh,
So,
yeah,
Akhil, just last question. You can answer it in one liner. So, if you were born before colonization, maybe, just maybe, you could have your own country like India was divided into this two parts, three parts.
can I repeat? Your
Just a
voice
one.
was a bit
So, if you were born before colonization, maybe you could have your own country, just like, the split of India.
okay. So you're asking me what would I have done if I was born before the colonization?
No, 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 no. Like, the partition of India, right?
Okay, yeah.
So if you could be born like on the right time and you would be young by that time, so you could have maybe have your own country.
Like when countries were busy invading each other, I could have created my own country.
No, 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 no. Before colonization, yeah, right, right.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's an interesting question and an interesting, scenario as well. I would have been as optimistic and as daring as Hitler. I mean, not as ruthless, of course. I wouldn't kill innocent people. But yes, his thought was to colonize entire Europe and bring it under Germany. His thought was to kill people as well. I won't do that, obviously. Love humanity. So yeah, but yes, I would have been bold enough and daring enough to, if I was born at that time, I would have taken all measures to make my own country, and then, in fact, not my own country, my own empire, because it would have been at a large scale then. I would have taken, I mean, if I was born at that time, I would have taken China, Japan, even Russia, Central Asia, everything. I mean, it makes me greedy at some point, but yeah, because back then there were opportunities and there was nobody to stop you. Today there are international laws, there are a lot of things that you cannot, like, back then you could illegally make your own country. Okay, and today it is difficult, extremely difficult to even legally make your own country. That's the difference. So, of course, I would have been excited.
Okay, great. So that marks the end of it. And Adi, if you have any other question, you can't ask it. I have to do dinner. You are just okay.
You didn't do dinner?
No, I was like, I said, okay. So he was like, let's do another question. So leave that. And thank you for being here. And we are truly motivated. Even I am motivated. Let's do something. Let's make my own country.
Yeah.
And so
That's great.
thank you for that. Hasta la vista.
Okay. Good night, guys. Thank you for including me in your podcast. May this podcast
Yeah,
reach great heights.
yeah, yeah, sure. And we'll send you the copy of it so you can share if you want to. And
Will you
that's
edit it
all.
or
Thank
something?
you. Yes, like I thought I didn't have to edit that cut, but I have to add a cut, you know. So you mentioned a person and it's illegal on YouTube, but it's fine. I'll do that. And
Okay.
that's it. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
being here.
Adi.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining. And
See you in the next one.
Hopefully.
Ashival, get your dinner.